So now we have the detail in our car. Make sure we're recording, okay? On the sidecar, we want to, and I realized earlier after I got finished with this that, let me hide our wheel charger. We need to bring the this edge up, okay? So I've got that going on here in the back. However, I don't have that right here. So, real simple, and let's go ahead and click on the door. Click here. I'll hold Shift. Double click. Actually, just click right there. And I'm going to my top view to make sure that everything looks good, and it doesn't. So I'm going to click here, press W, move tool, make sure it's on component, and I'll put this guy right there. Click on this one right there, and press 4. Move that point right here. Press 5. I'll slide it back a little bit. Okay, so I can slide it over it a little bit more. And make sure that we're doing everything and looking at it from all of our angles. And you know what, let's just do this. Let's go to the edge. Click that edge. 2, 3. Hold Shift. Right mouse click and hold. And edit edge flow. There we go. Looks a little bit nicer. I'm just checking out the geometry. Slide over a little bit more. Okay. So now it gets like this edge. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'll press Control E. Alright, let me just grab this again. Go into my side view. Hold Shift. Okay, so this doesn't want to come up. There you go. My top view. I'm going to change my handle to world. My manipulator tool to world. Move that straight up. Press 4 again. Okay. So this area is a little bit off. And I'll press 5, and then you guys can see this this outside shape here. I can see the geometry is a little bit off right here as well. So I'm just going to take a quick detour, fix that. And then bring this up. Always checking my geometry. Okay. So this all these edges are these vertices that I'm highlighting, about 4 of them. They're going all the way back over here into my geometry, and then I get this divot here. So I actually don't want to push this down. If I can do that a little bit at a time. And give myself a little bit of room. And kind of work our way all the way back. So I'm just going one row at a time. And what I'm trying to do is, this is that distinct edge, give myself a little bit of room to come up with that particular vertex. I'll go ahead and change it back to the world, and I'll put it right about there. And I see a really weird divot. Let me see what I'm doing before I start moving it too far up. Okay. So maybe what I can do is take these two guys and my aerial view. This is the reason why it's at this angle. And then in my side view, it's telling me something a little bit different. So, what decision to make? So that's this angle here. Let's see. See, in my top view, this point is supposed to line up right at the front of the car, but here it's really not. So that's a little bit of a concern for me. It's actually a huge concern. I like the way that geometry is lining up. So what I think I will do is we'll address that particular issue when we get to it. go ahead and select that edge all the way to the back. Hold Shift, double click. I'll press Control E, press W, I'll move it straight up, and I'll hold D, I'll move that manipulator tool, hold V, snap it there, and then I'll hold V again and snap it here. So now we're going to need to merge those two vertices. So hold Shift, right mouse click and hold, merge vertices to center. And there we go. Alright, now let's move on to the front fender. I'll press 1, edit, delete by type history. Okay, so I need to select 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7. Alright, so let's go ahead and select those guys. Let's go back into our side view. I'll hold Shift. Bring this guy down vertically, and then I'll hold D, V, snap this guy here, and then hold V and then snap this guy here. Now I can press R and scale it up like this. And then I'm going to select these two vertices, hold Shift, right mouse click and hold, merge vertices to center. Alright. And let's look at these guys from our aerial view. Press W and then get it to align here. Now I'm going to take these vertices here for the hood, press 5, see how far off I was, press 4, and then move them to the right. Take that vertex, slide it on over, and that looks good. Actually, I'm going to move it over to the outside of this black line, and since I'm using edges, it allows me to kind of like skip a vertex, so now in this case I'll go ahead and select the vertex, go into component mode, see that, okay. Now I know we're going to have to use the edit edge flow on this guy here, so don't worry about how close it's getting to each other. Okay, that looks good. Let's move this here. There's 5. That actually is underneath here, so if I press the right arrow in my perspective, it selects the next one. And I'll press the right arrow again, move this guy over, press the right arrow in my perspective and press 5. So we're looking pretty good. Right, so now, because I did change up a few things, I'm going to select this edge starting from here, hold shift, double click that one, and then right mouse click and hold shift, right mouse click and hold, edit edge flow, and there we go. I think I'm going to do the same thing right here because this edge is starting to look a little bit off. There we go. Much better. And while I'm at it, I'm just going to go ahead and edit the edge flow of all these guys. Alright. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Checking out that front fender. Now would be a good time to save, so file, save scene as, and let me go ahead and save it as side door. So I'll continue to keep it at 5 underscore because we're actually, let's save this as front fender underscore 01. Make sure my extension is set to binary and save that. Alright, cool. Now we will go back to this edge here, hold shift, double click, and thinking about, first of all, let's hold W, left mouse click and hold, little world. If I bring it out here, I definitely don't want to merge that vertex here. Or could I? If I do, then geometry is going to look a little bit different, especially if I move these guys down like so. And of course I'll use the edit edge flow here. What else? And then, so I'm just kind of like thinking through the problem, so you don't have to do exactly what I'm doing. And then I'd obviously move these guys out. But if I were, so let me just press Z to undo. If I were to select these edges, this guy, actually 1, 2, 3, 4, extrude, and then kind of square it up a little bit, I would actually gain an extra face. And I think I have enough geometry in here to where I really don't want to have an extra face right there. So I'm going to do the first option. So let's go back through it. So we'll select 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 faces here. Hold shift, click on the arrow. Oops, sorry. Hold shift, click on this arrow. And then, just like we did before, I'll hold D, change my angle. I'll hold D, I'll hold V, click on that little yellow circle and drag it until it snaps here. Hold V and snap it right there. Okay, now we're going to press R and then scale it up like this, kind of like flare it up. I'll go to my side view. So obviously we're going to flare it up till it gets to that edge. Go to my top view, press 4. Let's make sure that everything is looking pretty good. So I just right mouse, actually not right mouse, but just drag this guy over. Press 4, make sure you get lines. Press 5. See what's going on in my front view. I'll press 5 here. And so the angle that we're really trying to get, so you can see the line of the hood. And in our front view, doesn't really do us any justice. So what am I trying to say here? This line here is not the same. All right, so let's look at corresponding lines. So this line here is this line. And then this line that separates the hood from the front fender is not really indicated in this particular view. So we have to use our top view as our main guide to getting this to look perfect. Okay, so now that we've done that, we need to select those two vertices, hold shift, right mouse click and hold, merge vertices to center. Okay, I'm going to click on this edge here, hold shift that one. Let's go to edit edge flow. Let's see. I think I'm going to edit edge flow like towards the end. I think that'll be a little bit better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Press W. Hold shift, left mouse click and drag. I'll press R to start to scale it down a little bit. Press R and scale it in the y-axis. Press W to move it up. And then I'm going to look at it from my aerial view. Press 4. Okay. So this edge, press 5. This top edge, I want it to move to the right. I'll press 4. And I want it to center, go on the left side of that line there. Okay. And we'll do this a few more times. So I think I'm going to go ahead and press R and scale it in this way. Flatten it up. Control E, W, move it this way. So you see the spacing is much larger. It's because, I can always add edge loop in here later, or especially when I get ready to do my edge flow, things will kind of work themselves forward. So let's go ahead and do the edge flow now. Alright, that's fine with me. And let's move this guy back a little bit. Scale it up. Just like this guy, hold shift, double click, scale it down. Move it up in the y-axis. And let me move it back just a little bit. In my top view, make sure that I'm keeping the edge aligned with the car, so I'm moving everything over. And you see it starting to curve. So it's natural progression. It's looking really nice, and we're almost there. So probably extrude it like 2 more times. So Control E, press W, press R, go to my top view, press 4, slide it over here. Now you can see on the outside here it's starting to lose its shape. So I'll press W, I'm sorry, not W, but click on this edge, I'll press R, and I'll scale it down like this. This guy too. So I'll click here, hold shift, go to my top view, scale it over like that. And then I think I'm gonna do the same thing with this guy. Okay. There we go. Let's press 3. See what we're working with. Alright. Just a few more extrudes and we'll wrap this one up. Click here, hold shift, double click, and Control E. Let me just press 1. And I didn't press W this time because, quite honestly, it's actually moving along the same axes, the object axes. Right? It's moving along the same shape as this curve. If I press W, then it's actually doing this straight up and down, like north, south, east, and west, and then I'd have to move it left and right. So let's go ahead, go into our side view. I'll press 4, and you know, I forgot to do this part here. So I'll press R, scale it down. I'll press W, move it up. R, scale it down. Press W, move it up. Here. R, and let's kind of get the bottom edge to match this guy. Press W, move it up like so. And then double click here. Actually, that top one, hold shift, double click there. Press R. And move it here. So R scale like this. And press 4 here to see what's really going on. So from my perspective, it looks like this. But in my front view, it doesn't seem as though it's supposed to keep that shape. It looks as though it needs to flatten out like this. Press 4. And then you can see at the top of the car, it goes around like that. So I guess the question is, where do we go from here? And that's good. I'm actually going to delete this one here, and we're going to wrap up this tutorial, although it's not complete right here. I'm going to take a different approach, and it'll be a part 2 of how to complete this particular front fender shape. So before I wrap this up, I'm going to select my edges and use the edit edge flow, go all the way through here. I'll get a little bit more research for us going into the second part of this tutorial, and we'll be better prepared. to make sure that the decisions that I make to model this correspond to the actual car itself. So I will see you guys in the next tutorial, part 2 of the front fender, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it.